So, Mikael, it's been a while.
It's been a
It's been a
while.
while. We haven't done one of these in a good minute.
Have you been lazy or?
You're in the office. We're all over the place working.
Yeah,
Got trips to
we have a
do.
lot on our plate, don't we?
You do.
We
Uh,
got no time to stop for podcast, but no, it's time to get back. Do you like my new painting?
it is a very lovely
Right?
painting.
Isn't that absolutely stunning?
When they,
So, can you see the rhino there, or am I the only one to see it?
I mean, art's all about interpretation.
That's
So,
very true. And when I saw it at the gallery, this is actually a painting from Chelsea Young. She's a young artist here in South Africa, and I absolutely fell in love with it.
it's very, very nice.
Yeah. Did you know we have an arts fair here every year?
I know the artscape, correct?
Yeah, it's in February, and actually, this is the first year where we did a journey. Sorry, we don't use the word trip. We did a journey for two guys coming from Miami, actually, and it's interesting because they do the same in Miami. So they have one in Miami. I think it's called Art Basel,
Mhm.
and then they have one in Cape Town. And we have this incredible, talented, not an artist. She's an expert in art that has all the best connection
Mhm.
in town for galleries, and she just put together for our guests a 10-day journey through Cape Town and the winelands, all focused on art
Very
and
cool.
wine, of course.
Of course.
Right?
I mean, that
Yeah.
goes hand in hand.
So I thought it would be better in the office than at my place.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Bit of color into the office.
Absolutely. Excited. How have you been?
I'm good. Of course, busy. We're all
I
gearing
don't know
up.
why.
We're all gearing up for your big.
We are all gearing up.
It's a team effort. It's a
It's
team.
traveling.
We're getting things ready for you to
That's
travel.
true. You guys are doing the heavy lifting. Yeah.
But yeah, and you're leaving very soon. Week after next. You got a bunch of journeys.
So the
lined up.
first one is Portugal, which I'm hosting with our friend over there, Philippa, Chef Philippa, who's actually featured in our very first digital magazine coming out today.
We'll see it
So
very
yeah,
soon.
we're very excited. She had a 3 or 4 page spread with a recipe, and she talks about her home of Porto and then the Douro Valley, which is right outside of Porto. So her and I will be hosting that journey.
Lovely. I did have a little sneak peek at it, and it was quite an
It's cool.
interesting read. Yeah.
So we're doing Lisbon, Douro Valley, and Porto. We're going to stop in Alentejo, the region of Alentejo, which is right outside of Lisbon. They have incredible wines over there, great food. Yeah. And then right after that, I fly to Sicily, which will be my 4th time over there.
Amazing.
And my sidekick, Kevin, is joining. So I'm excited about that. It's always
fun though.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah, you two together are always quite
a thread. Yeah.
quite the combination.
We try to play, naughty and nice. Of course, him being naughty. But it doesn't always work. I do turn naughty. Yeah. But our guests love the interaction and the banter.
I mean, that's the thing. It's a big thing about having the hosts. It's just you bring the life to
It's
the
part of
party.
the-
Always
I
fun.
mean, it's definitely unpretentious luxury at that point in time. That definition of our trip's journey, sorry, gee, I need to get slapped everything.
I'm gonna get a spray bottle and spray you every time.
Yeah, all right.
But you got Sicily, and then I believe.
Sorry, yes, I'm all over the place. Shiny object. Right. Let's focus. After Sicily, I'm heading to Provence. Kevin will join me right after that. We have to. We kind of miscalculate that a little bit. We try to give ourselves 1 or 2 days between trips. Again, journeys. Yeah, so heading to Provence with Kevin, and then we have a few days in between. So then we're heading to Umbria, which is where we started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is our 10th anniversary year.
Something
We're
big.
not being much about that 10th anniversary. We're being very discreet about it. We'll get
Be
something.
a little surprise here and there.
But it's interesting because it's been so much fun, I almost forgot. Yeah. And someone reminded me, it's like, wasn't it in 2016? I'm like,
A whole decade. It's
yeah, big
terrible.
birthday cake. Anyway,
birthday.
back to Umbria, where him and I will split after that. I'm doing a private journey with some guests. First time guests for Art In Voyage. We're excited. And with first time guests, I like to just jump and play host. So sometimes we do host private journeys, not always group journeys. while Kevin will do the exact same back in Provence. So Kevin is going to do Provence, Maria back in Provence with some guests from Orlando. One of them being a food critique. So Kevin is very familiar with her and they're good friends. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And we have another creative journey, which none of us are hosting, but it's in Ireland. So we're doing the western side of Ireland. Absolutely. Our friend Fergus over there is our go-to guy for Ireland, and I think the guests will be super excited. This is our third one in a row, so yeah, quite a busy summer, and that's just creative journeys.
I mean, it also brings to mind, a few of these journeys also being sold out, and
thank God, you and I wouldn't be here otherwise. Yes,
but it did bring an interesting thought up for me because, of course, everyone is aware of the geopolitical climate at the moment. There's a lot.
Here he is.
There's a lot going on. No, but it's true. But it's surprising to me and very good to see as well that the amount of journeys are actually full. People are traveling, despite the uncertainty. I mean, to put it that way, because I think fear is playing a big role at the moment. Understandably so. People, of course, have their views of what's going on and how it affects them. But at the same time, people are still going out and doing what they need to do. I mean, especially in Europe, things are going as they need to.
Yeah, listen, fear is irrational, but cannot be explained. Everybody has different, a perspective on things, different life circumstances. It's easy for me as a single man who is pretty much fearless. When this started, the first thing I wanted to do is go to Dubai right away and Qatar because prices had been slashed by 85%. And I could stay at my 5-star property, some of my favorite 5-star property in the desert, not necessarily in Dubai itself, for a fraction of the price. So the thing I saw was the opportunity, not so much the risk. And I think the risk factor is something that is looked at very differently depending on who you are, if you have a family and things like that. So, so it's hard to explain. It cannot be judged. You just have to understand that certain people are more fearful than others. And we have quite a few guests that just like, well, I don't care, I'm going. First, because probably they don't think it's affecting Europe as much, and it truly is not. I mean, geographically, it's quite far. It's not the same region. I think the only way Europe will be affected is maybe higher fuel prices, but it's not just Europe. The US is affected.
That's a worldwide.
Exactly.
It's a worldwide issue.
There's a lot of news in the media that I think people should stop listening to.
Or the social media.
Yeah, social media is going crazy. The regular media is going crazy as well, especially about jet fuel. Jet fuel might be running low. It's not going to run short. And people are not going to drop you, one day to the next and say, sorry, we forgot to,
still going to get again.
Yes, they're going to reduce the schedule. They might combine flights in order to save on fuel. Europe produces 70% of its jet fuel on site. You see, people don't know that, and import only 15% of it from the Middle East, and the other 15% is imported from the US. So if you look at the numbers, and you take 15% out of the equation, and they still have 6 months worth of reserves until December, the summer should be fine. Yes.
I mean, I think that's also, some of our guests who have obviously brought up their concerns, all very justified. And a lot of them have their reasons.
They're understandable.
Yeah, they're
justification is a different story. But they're definitely understandable.
And I think a big part of this, especially in the travel industry, is also showing people the reality of what's going on the ground. Showing we have guests traveling at the moment, they're fine. We have our vendors, we have our suppliers, all doing what they're doing as they've always done. So I think it's just lifting the veil a little, like, yes, this is happening. It is scary.
You can't ignore it.
Yeah, you can't ignore it. It is scary, and if for you it might be scarier than for me, and so on. But I think it's also not letting the fear paralyze you. I know flying is scary at the moment.
From the US, it's not. I mean, it was not flying anywhere near the water. From South Africa, yes. I fly Dubai and Emirates and Qatar Airways only, just because of the routes. They work for me. Even if I fly back to the US, I usually go through Dubai. So I fly those airlines because I like them. And obviously, when the entire region shut down, I was like, oh, great, I'm stuck here. No, I do have other options.
Yeah.
But, those options, it didn't happen that those options were available for me or that I wanted to use them. I still trust the system. And that's the thing. As much as I travel, one could think, well, aren't you fearful that something could happen to you? Yes, and my odds are much larger, much higher because I travel as often as I do. But also, I want to trust the system. If you don't trust the system, then what's left? So I want to trust the airlines. Definitely don't want to have their plane shut down, right?
Yeah,
this would be bad business, bad publicity. So I trust that they will make the best decision. And when you look at it, they did. I mean, when on February 28th, when this started, they rerouted immediately. They knew the information. They knew what was coming.
Yeah.
They did not take a chance to land in Dubai or in Doha.
Put anyone at risk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They rerouted. And as that was the case during 9/11, as that was the case with COVID-19, airlines, I trust airlines. Most airlines, obviously, make the right decisions based on safety before money.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, coming from the US, the risk in terms of flying over the war zones are very limited. Actually, there was a higher risk. Ukraine is far closer. Yeah. And everybody forgot about Ukraine, but that's another geopolitical issue, right? That is still there after 4 to 5 years. Listen, we understand, but there's options.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not just Europe.
You don't want to do Europe. We have guests that actually we're going to do Europe, and they decided last minute, again, for reasons that we do not ask for those reasons.
Yeah.
We understand. We trust that you're making those decisions based on proper information and based on what's best for you and your family.
Exactly.
We just pivot.
Yeah.
And we immediately turn around and say, okay, I think those guests wanted to go to the Caribbean. And I'm like, okay, we can do better. I mean, you can't go from Europe to the Caribbean. Not dissing the Caribbean, but when you live in Florida, it's right there.
Yeah.
Right. So why not try something else? And we presented to them some options in Panama and Guatemala. At 2 absolutely stunning properties. One is overwater bungalows. It's incredible.
Oh,
it's absolutely beautiful. And actually, I think you did a piece on that. It's the Niagara Resort.
Oh yeah, you did. Beautiful, stunning.
Beautiful, stunning place. And then combine it with either an Amazon river cruise with our friends at Aqua Expeditions.
Yeah.
Or in Guatemala, we had a property that is owned by the Francis Ford Coppola family, so the famous director. Yeah. Which again puts them into the rainforest with tropical activities, and they love it.
I mean, that is quite the pivot from.
It is, but this is why you use us.
I also feel like moments like these open other experiences up to you that you might not have considered before. Sometimes you need a little push to take that step that you've been putting off, like going to the Amazon or doing an Amazon river cruise, where you might have think, okay, well, I wanted to go to Italy. Now I'm going.
Italy will still be there next year.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's so many of these destinations which just get overlooked so often.
Yeah, and actually, funny enough, during COVID-19, that's how we got Croatia to become so popular, because Croatia was one of the very few countries that remained open for Americans. You still had to get tested, but when most countries were shutting down for Americans because America at the time was not forcing the vaccination, then European countries and some other countries around the world said, well, if you're not going to impose it on your people, then we can't allow you in. Croatia took a different approach. South Africa took a different approach and say, as long as you can show me you've been tested, you're welcome. And that really took both countries and a few others really to the forefront.
Opened the door.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the opportunity is the same here. Europe will still be here next year. There might be another political crisis or geopolitical crisis, but that's for us to deal at the time, right? But right now, if that's a destination for you that is too dangerous, or that you feel is too dangerous for various reasons, there's plenty of options. Don't shut down your travel plans. We see it all the times. The US can be at times a little dangerous as well, right? So there's no country that is spared from, whether it's gun violence or terrorist attack, or
it's unfortunate, worldwide.
You can't stop living either, right?
But I mean, also I think there are other destinations people also tend to overlook. Like we recently have our New Zealand journeys coming up, and
that, I mean, you cannot be more
you could not
and isolated than New Zealand. Right?
And New Zealand's really been picking up as well. I mean, Australia.
We have a lot of requests for Australia for next year.
And I think again, this pushes people to finally take that step and go to places they've just been putting off for so long. And the New Zealand journey looks incredible.
We got two.
Yeah, we do have two.
Two back to back. Yeah, I'll be there for almost a month.
Incredible.
God, it's terrible.
Horrible. I can't believe. Shame. I feel so sorry for you.
No, I'm excited. Yeah. Japan for a while was high on the list as well. We've seen an uptick in South America, requests for Argentina, for Brazil. Brazil, for a while, people were putting it off. Again, I mean, you hear a lot of violence, political problems there. It often stops people, but this is why you have us. This is why you have us, or you have, whomever is listening may not be a guest of Art In Voyage, but I'm sure you have your own travel advisor, travel expert. And when you have people like us, you also know you're not alone.
Yeah.
So even if you made a decision, says, I'm going to maintain my journey to Europe this summer. Okay, but I'm with Art In Voyage, and we're not going to take risks.
No.
If we see that things are deteriorating and we need to shift or pivot, we'll do that. And we'll do that at all costs, right? So, because we certainly don't want to lose any guests.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to. I try to get like a special pass for it, but I don't even have 10% losses allowed anymore. So we have to pivot, and we have to make sure our guests are always safe. I mean, whether it's on our career journeys or when our guests are traveling with us independently, we will always tell them the truth. We will always be, forthcoming when it comes to the potential risk. If it's a flight issue, if they have, concerns about flying over certain areas, and we'll work with them to see how we can reorganize their journey.
Even down to the safety of certain destinations. I mean, there's always been a big stigma around South Africa, especially in the US, about safety.
Again, media.
Yes. But every group of guests we've had come to South Africa all have said how, it's a life-changing experience. I mean,
people are welcoming. It is. Listen, we're not going to lie. There's obviously safety issues in certain areas.
Exactly. But which country doesn't have its areas or safety issues?
I'd want to put that out there, because I do have guests that have expressed concerns about that. And usually what I tell them is let's stop for a second, speak to people who actually live there, as opposed to listening to the media, and then get their intake, get their input on it. And they'll be honest with you. If they live there and they feel fearful for their life, or they don't feel like they can walk at night or go to restaurants, they'll tell you. So that's the best way to get the information, as opposed to assuming.
I mean, and I think also extending that to, if you don't feel comfortable, say South Africa, that's fine. But there's Botswana, there's Namibia, there's Zambia.
There's no one in Botswana. It's incredible. It's like
Botswana is an incredible country. Same with Namibia. I mean, I think these are also destinations that people completely overlook.
Namibia, only 2 million people. That's it.
2 or 3 million.
For the size, I think the country is the size of South Africa. It's the size of probably two US states.
It's a massive country. It's
because it covers pretty much 1/3 of the width of Southern Africa. So
and again, I think these are destinations people now can start looking at. I mean, but safari in Botswana it's incredible. It's unlike any other safari you'll go on, regardless if you're going to Kruger or any safari park around the world. So it's an incredible experience. And I think, situations like these, you either decide to take it in a stride and try something new, or you wait. And,
I always say that if you can't travel well, just wait.
Yeah. Like if traveling now for you doesn't feel comfortable, that's understandable.
And that's okay.
Completely. But I mean, again, going back to the journeys you do have coming up.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, so we're leaving the dark conversation. No, it honestly, it needed to be mentioned. I think you and I, for a few weeks, have talked about doing a specific podcast about geopolitical tension. And we have we have not found the way to approach the topic, but it needs to be approached. And I have so much more to say about this. We can do that at a different time. But I think it's important for people to. If I would say anything, I would say this. Listen, travel changes you. Travel changes your view on the world. Mingling and meeting locals in at different destinations definitely helps you understand the world better.
That is your worldview.
Yeah, but it's from and you'll see it with your own eyes. You'll hear it with your own ears. You're now going to hear it from a third party who will give you a snippet of this, a snippet of that, and who's looking to really make sensational news because that is how they sell. And it's not a dissing all the media. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that if you want to listen to that, fine, but do your own research.
Yeah. Don't take things at
face value. I agree. Yeah. So I'm glad we touched on that a little bit.
No, I mean, it's not even just the elephant in the room at the moment. It's the elephant in the world.
It is.
But
I love elephants.
We do. Come on a safari, you'll see a real elephant. But I think so. I'm not even going on these journeys, but I'm excited because I get to to do the content behind the scene.
You get to see the videos. And
especially for the villa. In Provence, Umbria. I live vicariously through, the videos of Kevin cooking in the kitchen. Everyone's trying to cook with him.
He cooks barefoot, right?
I'm not surprised.
Kevin loves to cook barefoot. And it's interesting because we did a villa product in Bordeaux one time. And oh my God, the property manager was horrified because the first thing he thought of is like, something is going to fall on his feet and he's going to hurt himself. Right. And if you go to any kitchen, any professional kitchen, any restaurant, that's a no. Actually, your feet have to be completely covered because knives could fall, pans could fall, and they're quite heavy. You could hurt yourself. And that property manager in Bordeaux was just absolutely horrified.
And I'm sure Kevin was just like,
where do I sign the waiver? Right? Where I will not sue you if something happens. It's just, but it just goes to show you how fun and casual it is.
And I think that's really a big thing people enjoy, especially now. Traveling, this is going to be a moment where you don't have to think about everything that's going on in the world.
You literally just drop your luggage and we'll take care of it.
And you just go, you have fun, you laugh, drink wine, eat amazing food, of course, always.
It's funny. It's the time of the year where I repeat myself the most. So guests are so relaxed that they will want to have the information 10,000 times a day. To the point where actually I got a screen now and I install it in the main area of the villa and I have all the information showing on the screen. But and it's not bad. It just goes to show you how relaxed
you switch off
and how switched off they are. And at first I'm like, okay, maybe my English is not as good as I thought. But then I realized, no, it's not. It's just that they switched off.
Able to relax.
Another thing guests love to do, and at first I was completely opposed to it, is helping us clean the kitchen and clean the table, right? And take the dishes away. And they're so relaxed and they're so in the moment. I started to stop them, and actually one of the guests on the journey said, Mikael, stop. Don't worry. We do this because if we don't want to do it, we won't. But we do this because we feel like this is our home for the week. We're part of the family, right? Which has a whole different signification in Italy, of course. But we're part of the family and we want to be part of the process.
Yeah, I mean, it's really immersing yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. I'm sure you're excited. I've spoken to Kevin as well. He's really looking forward to everyone coming.
He's looking forward to get out of there. He loves that time of the year because that's a time of the year where I can be on the road for a month and a half to 2 months. And it's the time of the year where Orlando gets very muggy, like very humid. So traveling to Europe, where we do get some heat waves from time to time, but it definitely brings you cooler temperatures. He loves Italian food, obviously. And
of course. I mean,
so hitting Italy this year twice and Provence twice, he's in heaven. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you've got a few little side surprises as well while you're there. Some some little side visits.
Something I don't know. Oh, Hungary. Yeah, we're going to head to. So Hungary, we've been trying to launch Hungary for a while. Now we've done Hungary before. We've done Budapest, combined with Vienna and Prague. That was a fun journey. But Hungary has this side very little, not well known. Sorry, my French is starting to kick in. Not very well known area of Hungary where they make wine. It's sweeter wine. It's really nice. I think it's called the Toka region. Toka? Yes. I will correct myself. Someone will probably post a comment correcting me, but it is to the east of Budapest. I would say northeast of Budapest. And so we want. I have a friend who bought a house over there, a little winery, actually, a little vineyard. I wouldn't call it a winery, but they do have vines. And she's been wanting me to go there for quite a while. She's hosted some journeys with us before, so she knows exactly what we're looking for.
Oh, nice.
So we want to explore and see a little more about what we can do there on the food and wine scene. Yeah. Budapest is always a fantastic town to visit. But yeah, so that's a little side journey. And I might, take another one. As you know, that time of the year is my birthday. And I always tend to just be on the road for my birthday. So
which she loves. So,
Yeah, we'll look at what the demand is.
Yeah.
Our guests love to give us feedback. So we'll look at what the demand is. And then spur of the moment, I'll be like, okay, close your eyes. Let's go there. Let's explore and see if we can do something with it.
Cool. Well,
excited.
I'm excited. Exciting times ahead.
Yeah, well, don't be too excited. You're staying here.
Oh, excited for you. We can let the rest of us in office can.
But you'll probably go on the Egypt journey in September.
Yeah.
Well, don't look surprised. You know that. We've discussed it. So for guests listening, we're launching Egypt this year.
Yeah. Very cool river cruise down the Nile.
It's beautiful. And I know it's part of the area that right now is in question, but we're not backing down. We're maintaining it. There's no reason for us.
Stunning cruise.
Yeah, there's no valid reason for us to back out of it. And then we have the same one next year for the solar eclipse. That is super exciting. Yeah.
That also, yeah. I mean, it looks like an incredible itinerary.
This is once of a lifetime experience. I mean, how many times are you going to see solar eclipse
in Egypt?
In a setting like right over the pyramids, right?
On the Nile.
Yeah, on the Nile River. I mean, oh God, it's
like
terrible.
An Indiana Jones movie opening it.
It's terrible. The things we create are just
awful. Yeah,
it's just awful.
But Mikael, thank you. It's been lovely to have a little catch up again.
Yeah, let's not have so long, in between podcasts.
Let's not have so long, but we have some exciting podcasts coming up soon.
Yes. So we have our 10th anniversary podcast with some guests.
Some special guests, which you'll all love.
I don't think an hour will be enough.
No, not be enough. But thank you so much. Good luck on all your upcoming journeys.
Good luck. What does that mean? Enjoy your journeys.
Enjoy your journeys. Okay. I'm also not English, But Mikael, thank you.
Wian.
Have a lovely time.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.